This week, what can be done for the overlooked majority of retirees? Welcome back to the Industry Leader Update. The median net worth of retirees aged 65 to 74 was only $266,000 in 2019, of which $240,000 was in their home. Now, all indications are that in the last few years, that problem has gotten worse, writes Jack Guttentag, aka the mortgage professor, in a recent Forbes column last week. Now, this problem has indeed worsened, especially in the last few years, thanks to record high inflation, which has hit older Americans and those living on a fixed income especially hard. Guttentag's solution is the integration of financial advisors, HECM originators, and insurance professionals, and each of those parties would be working on a coordinated plan which would help the client or those that are seeking to retire have adequate cash flow throughout their non-working years. Now, this appears to be a worthy plan, especially for those who may be several years away from retirement, but what about those who have already retired or are going to be planning to retire in just a few years? Will they consider tapping into their home's accumulated value? And that's a question we keep coming up against. Now, it can be argued that retirees that do have the majority of their wealth tied up in the bricks and mortar of their home are in fact the generally overlooked population by financial advisors, traditional mortgage originators, and yes, the media. Now, as a reverse mortgage professional in the U.S., each and every one of you watching, you may not be surprised to learn this, that resistance to utilizing home equity is not something that's peculiar to the United States. I came across a site called yourmortgage.com, and they reported on a study by National Seniors Australia and Challenge. And that study found that only 2% of retirees in Australia have accessed their home equity through traditional equity loan or a reverse mortgage. Now, when it comes to reverse mortgages only, does a 2% market penetration sound familiar? Also, 2 in 3 of those respondents of the Australian survey said that passing on their home to their heirs was in fact important to them. Nevertheless, 1 in 5 Australian respondents surveyed said that they might even consider a reverse mortgage, or as what the Aussies call it, the home equity access scheme. The overlooked majority, they have no problem in spending down their retirement savings, their 401ks, IRAs, and other retirement saving vehicles. And it's really a question of perception. It's the normal course of action that's really expected of retirees and family members during what is called the distribution phase. Now, consequently, you're going to rarely hear any family member complain that, oh my gosh, Mom and Dad spent down their 401k or their IRA account. However, when it does come to the home, that shift in perception is significant. It can be argued that the home is just another form of savings, or what I would call a forced savings account of sorts, because it's paid over several decades. And guess what? You don't have the option not to make that mortgage payment. Now, the greatest difference is it's a savings vehicle in which the homeowner lives. Now, that personal connection leads to resistance, misunderstanding, and also fears of losing one's housing security or the roof over their head. And that's where knowing the financial position of your particular borrower or homeowner is so vital. Do you know your homeowner or applicant's sources of income? Or do you know how long those streams of income will actually last? Or if some of them are at risk of being reduced or eliminated altogether? Now, what is their monthly cash flow? Only when those key facts are known can you make a meaningful comparison of life with or life without a reverse mortgage and draw the contrast. Now, more than ever before, the overlooked majority, they're more vulnerable to outliving their money or reducing their standard of living in this inflationary environment. And that's why the specific and practical introduction of integrating a reverse mortgage must go far beyond just going over the features and benefits of the home equity conversion mortgage or a proprietary loan. We have to focus on problem solving. Now, what are your thoughts? Leave your comments in the comment section below. And also, if you'd be so kind as to share today's video, we always appreciate that. And our YouTube channel, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. That way you never miss an upcoming episode. And each and every week, we have the nation's only weekly podcast for you, the reverse mortgage professional. Apple users can listen and subscribe on iTunes, and you can also listen on HECMworld.com. That's it for us this week. Thanks again for joining us for another week of reverse mortgage news, commentary, and analysis here at HECM World.